Oh, crap. Okay, sorry about that. I had it on my phone. The screen was all black, so are we good? Um,
Are we good now?
yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what was going on. But
I think I've been talking to no one for 5 minutes because my screen was black too, and I thought maybe my computer was just glitching a little bit.
oh no, no, my screen was black. So okay, well,
Hey, Jasmine's in the chat here.
yeah,
Okay, she said that there might have been some technical difficulties. I can see you guys now.
yeah.
Jasmine, could you hear what I was saying, or was it just blackness with nothing? So, well, we'll wait to hear back from her. But I can. Okay, it was blackness with nothing. Um, so I wanted to go live today to talk about my 9 day fasting challenge that I'm starting tomorrow. Getting ready to have my last meal of the day, last meal of the year, actually. I'm going to have lamb chops on the grill tonight. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I wanted to also say that this challenge, it's a fasting challenge for me. I'm going to go 9 days, uh, no food, just water, maybe some hot tea, maybe some coffee, a little bit, but it's going to be a 9 day fasting challenge. My previous best fast has been 8 days. And I thought, what better way to kick off 2024 than to do a fasting challenge? So yeah, Jasmine just said it was all just a black screen and silence. So sorry for anybody else who was watching nothing there for a little bit. But also, if you've been considering the carnivore diet, the carnivore lifestyle, or even keto or ketovore, or just trying something new for 2024, this is a perfect time to start that first 60 days or 90 days. And join us in this. Post in the comments, um, and tell us what you're doing. Carrie, what are you doing for 24? Anything different?
I am really strongly, and I still haven't quite decided. See, I'm in a very difficult situation because it's easy for me to fast now. I couldn't go 9 days probably, but I've always intermittently fasted as a lifestyle. And when I was a kid, I used to eat every other day, and I can still do that. And I have done that. And I really
Yeah.
have no business doing that because I'm actually trying to put on some weight. So
So
I'm
yeah,
not going to
fasting,
fast, but
right.
what
So
I'm
fasting
considering,
challenge probably isn't what you want to do.
yeah, so what I'm considering doing though is going lion. And I just
Oh,
have some reasons why I might want to do that.
have you researched any ways that you can put on weight doing carnivore?
Yeah, basically it's eat a lot more.
Eat a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Well,
already know my eating habits are very strange. I've always had strange eating habits.
yeah.
Like for example, like I rarely ate breakfast. Won't say never, but I never could eat just first thing in the morning, and then a lot of times I wouldn't eat until lunch. Another bad it's I'm not sure if it's a habit or if it's just how I am or what it is, but if I'm really involved in something, and this was like when I was a teenager, I would be drawing or writing, and I would just be
Yeah.
so involved in what I was doing that I didn't get up. I mean, I didn't get up to go to the bathroom, and I didn't get up to eat. I didn't do much of anything, and my mother would have to, she would interrupt me to eat, and I would just be annoyed. I'd be like, but
So you
I'm in the
were
middle of and I just thought that I enjoy food. I enjoy good food.
so you were
It's just that,
unknowingly intermittent fasting.
yeah, it's just that food is never really, and see, this is what makes me so weird, but it's never been like this important thing to me. It's sort of an incidental, like, oh, I've got to do that because if I don't, I'll starve.
Well, it's great to have you on here because, some people are coming into this or considering diet changes because they're in your shoes. They need to put on some weight. Um, I'm kind of spacing her name right now, but the 16-year-old girl who was suffering with anorexia, she's
Sophia.
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 Thank you very much. She's successfully been doing carnivore and putting on weight and improving her health that way. So,
Hmm.
she's someone to really look to for that. So,
Yeah. And there are a few creators. I think a guy named Aaron. I've
mhm,
subscribed to his channel, but I just don't remember his full name. But he actually used to be, I think, like vegan or vegetarian, and he'd gotten down, like his weight was really low, and then he got on carnivore, and that's a part of it. You do have to eat, and it's very easy to undereat when you eat this way. It's especially
yep,
carnivore. It's really easy to undereat because it is satiating. And I never have been one that could eat a lot at one time.
yeah. Well,
So
and
yeah,
and
it's
I've
a
been today. I didn't. I just ate my first meal after we got out of the last live stream with John at Carnivore Backwoods.
mm-hmm.
So, and then I looked down at the clock. I realized that I hadn't eaten anything, and I wanted to eat a little something uh, before I went into my final meal of the year. So, I got up and did that. So, but if anybody else on here wants to join in, I think Robin and Christy we're going to jump in. So if they want to jump on the live, that's cool. But but yeah, I just wanted to get on and talk about the challenge. And if you've been considering starting carnivore, and you want to do something new for 24, uh, let's do that. And I did want to shout out some channels that are joining me in the fasting challenge. JT from Poco Moonshine Family said he was going to jump in. I don't know for how many days, he didn't say, but I'm guessing probably at least a couple, which is cool. And, whatever amount you want to do is fine. We're all in different places in the journey. So, Ollie Wells said she was going to jump in and do maybe a day. She's never done any fasting before, so she might try doing a day. Dustin from Keto Simple, he's another Hoosier here. He's got a great keto channel called Keto Simple. He's doing a 7-day fasting
Woo!
on his channel. So I don't know if he's actually doing it with me, but he said in one of the lives that he was doing it too. So I wanted to give him a shout out. And I got to meet him and his wife and a bunch of other people at a local meetup over the summer, and a great bunch of people. So I wanted to give him a shout out. And Kat from Meat Fueled Living, she said she might try doing 1 or 2 days. So wish her luck on doing that. Christy from Meeting Wellness is doing 48 hours. Robin from Carnivorous Grandma, she's joining us for a 7-day fast.
Whoa, she's going 7?
She's doing 7 days. I think
Holy
it's something to
cow.
do with her church. If she ends up jumping in here, we'll ask her about that. But she's doing it as a religious fast. And then Rhonda, the carnivore Leo, she has said she might be doing a 9-day fast along with me as well.
Ooh.
Yep. And I'll have links to all their channels below and links to some videos and other stuff. And then I've got 3 viewers who commented on my last video that said they would jump in. Danny Beach, 8452, said he's going to try to do 9 days. Tampa Jan, 1790, said she's going to do at least 6 days. And Daryl Maver, 372, said he's going to do 5 days. So, if you guys watch this video, please comment and watch for my daily videos. Are going to be coming out. I wanted to give everyone kind of a daily update on how I'm feeling, how I'm doing day to day through the challenge, and let me know how you're doing. And anybody else who's jumping in, I'll add you to the list. We'll do shout outs. I'll put you links in my channel so other people can find you, and your links in here as well. And because I linked the people that are on the challenge, and then I also linked people's channels that if you don't know anything or you want to learn more, I linked all my favorite carnivore channels that people could go and check out. So I wanted people to get their learn on too. And if you've considered fasting and you want to learn more about it, this is a great opportunity, or learn more about carnivore, or whatever it is you want to do. Got Arlene in here wishing everyone a happy New Year's. Want to do the same, say happy New Year to everyone, and make sure you be safe. We're not going anywhere tonight. We're just gonna stay in and play some board games and eat some shrimp and have my lamb chops, and it'll be a good time, nice and safe, staying in. You got any plans for tonight?
It's me, myself, and I, and the cat. I'm just gonna chill in front of the fire and just relax. And of course,
Nice.
thankfully, well, my vacation is about over. I mean, I took off the days between Christmas and New Year's, and I was working on I'm frustrated with myself. I've gotten off a schedule. I've really gotten out of whack. The only things that I've consistently done, and the only reason I've done that is, even though I've cussed at him, it's my cat, because my cat wakes me up regularly in the morning because I have to feed him. So I have meditated every morning, and I've still gone out and taken my morning walks, and I do a little short every morning that just says good morning, and it shows the sunrise.
Nice.
But after that, what I had started doing is I might lay down for just a little while again instead of staying up, because I was tired, because I would either be reading or because I knew I didn't have to work, right? And so I just totally got out of my schedule, and I had all these good intentions of things I was going to do. And for whatever reason, the motivation wasn't there. And so I didn't do them. I did some things, but not. And then my reasoning was, well, I just need to relax. It's the end of the year. It's been a hectic year, which is true. It has,
Hey,
yada, yada. But I am really mad at myself that now my vacation's almost over, and I really didn't. I didn't do a lot of extra work on my channel like I was going to do, which I'm really mad at myself for that. Yeah, and I have no excuse. I have no excuses.
It's a busy time of year, and I'm sure you had other things in your life. And you're like me, you have a regular job, and you have other things to do than just concentrate on a YouTube channel. I have my regular job, and I also run another side business that I do, and I'm a husband and a father, and life's busy, especially Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Our personal lives get really busy. But I wanted to show this comment from Penelope Pitstop. Happy New Year from Germany. Started eating more in February to gain weight and regain muscle, and accomplished your goal. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Fabulous. And that's the trick too, is I've never had a problem eating meat or anything like that. And I've never had a problem of intentionally not eating.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like that. It's just, I have these, I don't know, my eating habits are just really weird, but I've never been able to eat that much at one time.
Yeah.
So I have to just, about the only thing, and Aaron and some other people that I've seen, there's not a lot of us, but we're out there. You just have to eat more. You just have to work up to eating more. And you also have to work on your fat. Some people need more fat. Some people need less. So it's just, I've just been working on the different things to tweak. And I did gain 6 pounds from the time I was down to 110 at 5'9", and that's pretty thin. That's pretty thin. But I had a follow-up appointment, and they weighed me there, and I weighed in at 116. So I had put on 6 pounds. So I'm working on it. And I'm wondering if that's because I reintroduced my yogurt. That's the only thing. The yogurt, the full fat, it's full fat Greek yogurt, nothing else in it. I mean, and it's full fat. And I'm thinking it might have been because I reintroduced that. Although I've been eating, I've been right. If I think I'm full, I say, well, let me just try a little more. And that is like totally the opposite advice that anybody else would need, unless they were trying to, increase their intake. Yeah. And so but I want to do lion just because I've got a spot in my neck that still bothers me on occasion. It's not anywhere near what it was before I went keto, for example. And I'm wanting to see if maybe lion would take care. So I don't have like my anxiety and stuff is gone. All of that is fabulous. But I'm just kind of wondering if the lion would help with that spot in my neck that irritates me every now and then. Uh-oh. Hey, it's just me. I'm not sure what I should do here, but I'll just keep talking. So yeah, I wasn't sure whether the lion diet would help, and I'm thinking it probably would. So that's the thing. But if I do lion, then I'm going to have to obviously stop eating the yogurt, and I'm afraid that if I stop eating the yogurt, that I will not continue gaining weight, and in fact that I might lose some and get back down again. So Brett, this is so weird. Okay, is anybody here? Is anybody here? I'm wondering. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm still here, but I guess Brett is not. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this stream because I can see you, but I can't chat. Okay, Brett. Hey. Oh. I can't hear you, Brett. It sounds like paper crinkling. It sounds like paper crinkling. Okay, I can hear you, or I heard.
Did you hear something?
I just heard you, but I can't see you.
Okay, I got the blue screen of death on my computer.
Oh crap!
I know, just right in the middle of what you were talking about. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this.
Well, it's nothing like. Hey, Mercury is in retrograde. It's supposed to be over though, but there are folks that say that Mercury being in retrograde affects communication and technology. So there you go. Oh, gotta have a sense of humor. Okay. Yeah, Jasmine is saying we might ought to restart it, and I'm going to wait until Brett comes back and just tell him that maybe we should restart, unless he's able to actually be seen. I don't know. Oh, a Twinkie. Yeah.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay. Let me get my background back so nobody can see my wreckage.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm trying to change my background, but I guess we'll just have to do with this in my
Yeah,
basement.
just live with it.
We'll just have to
Shoot.
deal with it. I'm sorry, everybody who was on. I got the blue screen of death on my computer, and I'm trying to get things back now. Let me try my background again and see if it'll let me do it. For some reason, it's not kicking on. So maybe let me do one of the stock ones. No. Yeah, well,
Oh well, so
we'll just live
it's
with it.
just really being persnickety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
can see us both now. All
So
right.
you can see this is my side business that I do. I'm a eBay reseller, and I sell all kinds of stuff, and this is like my eBay store down here. So you can see what's going on down here. So, but yeah, this is what's behind the curtain of meat.
Behind the meat.
So,
It's like behind the music.
so
Behind the
sorry, a
meat.
little embarrassing. I'm just glad that the feed continued with you on it, and we
It
didn't lose
did.
everything.
Yeah, that was pretty
So
wild.
I'm glad you joined to kind of keep the thing alive for a minute. Uh,
Oh
so
well. Yeah, it's that Mercury in retrograde. I'm telling you.
maybe that's it.
It
So
might
Fred says
be.
Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year.
Sandra.
So Penelope, she's the one who uh, increased her weight,
Mm-hmm.
increased her fat intake, fortified bacon, steak, hamburger. Yeah. So I was going to ask you, Carrie, just before we were brutally interrupted. Are you going to try to eat more to put on some more muscle mass? Maybe do like a 3 meal a day if you can make yourself do it.
Yeah, I might. I could try something like I could do the opposite of fasting. It's that's true. I could do that. I could eat like a 3 mad instead of a 2 mad. I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't eat a ton when I eat like at the noon hour. My big meal tends to be later in the day.
Well,
But I
maybe
could
your
I
challenge
could
for the
start
year
doing
is,
breakfast maybe,
yeah,
like actually make a concerted effort to eat breakfast.
yeah. Maybe your challenge for the year is to eat more.
Is to
Hey,
eat. I know it's so bizarre, and I've in the past I've started streams, but or a video by saying, don't hate me because I know nobody can identify with that. Nobody,
it's a
I don't
small
think.
percentage, yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, like when I was first starting to go through just all of these journeys, I was just wondering, is there anybody out there like me? And I'm like, there probably is, and nobody's just talking about it. Like, and I have run across some people who are actually trying to put on weight because like when I was in high school, my brother and we were both very tall and slim,
Hmm.
and would pool our money to get protein powder, and we would work out with weights, and they didn't do much good at all, really. We were fit, but
Right.
we didn't bulk up. And I mean, we read the muscle and fitness magazines and all that stuff,
Well,
trying to do stuff to gain weight.
I think a lot of people who are thin assume that they're in good health,
Uh-huh.
um, and they probably just don't really give it a thought until they have a problem, until they get some bad news from the doctor or something of the like. And there's a lot of people out there that are what they call skinny on the outside and fat on the inside, where
Yep.
they have a lot of visceral fat around their organs, where they may be thin, but they have like a little bit of like a belly because they have some internal fat around their organs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think there's a lot of people in the world that are like that and are assuming that they're in good health because they're thin. Because we've been trained to think that thin is healthy, and if you're thin, then you don't have anything to worry about.
And that is not necessarily true either, because my mother was slim, and she was slim she started putting on a little bit of weight, like, I don't know, she was like in her 60, like, I don't know, about 60, around the time she turned 60, I guess. I'm just trying to think back exactly when that was. I mean, it was very, very gradual. But then once she was diagnosed with diabetes, then all bets were off. But here's the point, she was not obese at all. I mean, and she was, I mean, not quite as thin as I am now, but she was pretty slim and very slim. And my mother's whole side of the family, like, I've got a picture with me and my uncle. I'll have to get it. I had used it in one of my other videos, but it's me standing next to my uncle. And not only was I tall and thin, and I was 5'9",
Oh,
and he was like 6'5" or something. I mean, it's ridiculous how tall he is, and just long and lean. My uncle, just long and tall,
yeah.
like, and that's just how my mother's side of the family was.
Huh.
So it's just really, yeah.
I reposted the StreamYard link. I think since I restarted or jumped back in, the little code may have changed because I think Jasmine said she was going to try to jump in. She said, "I'm here. I don't know if you can see me or not." So she may be trying to join if that little link changed. So I wanted to throw that back up there because that's the one that's working, that's on right now. Yeah. All right, Fred, 1 year carnivore tomorrow. Happy carniversary. See, he started on 1/1. A lot of people start something new. There's a lot of carnivores with 1/1 carniversaries. Not everybody gets on this for weight loss. I was never obese, but definitely had metabolic issues. I suspect I had plenty of visceral fat and leaned down from 190 to 155.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. And I didn't start for weight loss. I started because my mother, I just saw what type 2 diabetes did to her. And I know that they say that if you had gestational diabetes, that your odds of becoming type 2 diabetic are increased. And I was terrified of becoming diabetic and having to, like, use insulin. Oh, I didn't want, to have to inject it. It was like, I'm so terrified of needles and stuff. And plus terrified of losing limbs. So that's when I started going low carb. And I was very, very thin then. And my blood work and everything was fine.
Yeah.
But I just saw that. And so that's when I first started low carb. And then I just worked my way down and was ketovore before. And my carniversary would be either the 26th or the 27th of December. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I just had it. I'm not sure which day it was, because I'm not sure which day it was that my neighbor brought me all that meat, because at the time I didn't realize it was a life-changing event. He just brought me all that meat. And so I was very thankful for it. But I started eating only meat because I wanted to make sure I ate all of that food and not let any of it go to waste. And
there you go.
Next thing you know, I was like, well, I'm just going to keep eating like this. Why not?
Post this
Easy.
By Bullet Sponge. I think that was the sound of a Twinkie wrapper. I think that was the sound of me dropping to my blue screen of death. So I know Bullet Sponge is a friend of mine who's jumped on here, and I got to say your avatar with those big eyebrows, that's pretty accurate, Bullet Sponge. So little inside joke there. So yeah, glad Carrie didn't go away either. She was my anchor today. Oh, Sandra has 2 rooms like that. Yeah. Real eBay and real estate. eBay room. Yeah. Yeah. And if eBay is how we make some ends meet here. So I sell a lot of stuff on there. Fred, 57-year-old, 6 foot tall, down to my 25-year-old weight. Congratulations, Fred. From a 36-inch waist to a 30-inch waist. 6 foot with a 30-inch waist. That's pretty darn good. Now I've gone from a 44-inch pant size down to a 40, and now I'm looking to possibly getting into 38s pretty soon. So hopefully things go well. So if anybody else has got any questions or anything you want to pop in here, we're going to stay live for probably a few more minutes. But just wanted to hop on here and talk about fasting challenges and things going on in the carnivore world, and say happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2024. I mean, a year ago, I had no idea my life was going to change this much.
I knew mine was going to change a little bit because I had done keto before and lost some weight, but I was still having issues. And actually, I was looking to probably have to start insulin injections too, even though I was eating keto. It wasn't clean or low carb enough, or I was cheating too much. I think that was probably more it than anything. But I wanted to go over a quick few rules just for anybody who goes back and watches this video again. If you're going to do this challenge, something I learned when I started riding motorcycles years ago is to ride your own ride. And that kind of pertains to this as well. You can watch other people and the things they do and the weight that they lose and the things that they eat and think that you're going to have the exact same results. Well, you may not. So do what's right for you and ride your own ride, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out what's going to be working best for you, because what works best for someone else may not work best for you. Some people can have coffee and spices and other things, and some other people can't. Some people can incorporate some dairy, some other people can't. If you're on any kind of prescription medication, especially one that requires you to take your medicine with food, I would highly recommend you talking to your doctor before changing your diet or starting any kind of plan or doing any kind of fast like that. So, because none of this is medical advice or anything like that. So I wanted to throw that out there. So, do your research and be smart. And so I just, wanted to throw that out there. And to just, do what you can do. Fasting is like a muscle. If you fasted before and you want to try another day, like what I'm doing, do that. If it's just one or two, do that. Just do what you can do. Stay hydrated, stay up on your electrolytes, and just take care of yourself. And if you start feeling bad, just quit. This is a challenge, and if you've reached your limit, then you'll know what your limit is. And odds are, if you want to try again, you may be able to push that limit a little further next time. So I'm just planning to have water, coffee, tea. You can have sparkling water, and again, get those electrolytes. And I guess the reason why I'm doing it, there's several fasting benefits that you can get from doing this. One, I want to get over the stall that I've had. I've been kind of stuck at the same weight for a while, and I want to try to get over that stall, and doing a fast is a good way to do that. I will be doing a weigh-in because I know people have asked about that before. So when I do my videos, my daily videos, we'll do a little weight check-in too and see how things are going. But, the fast isn't just only about weight loss. I want to get some autophagy, some additional fat burning, um, and try to. I've got a little bit of loose skin around my tummy, so autophagy is good for that to help tighten things up a little bit. So that's one of the benefits of this that I want to try to do, but mainly to get over my stall. Oh yeah, I got to look up the new tax rules. That's fun. Sandra says she didn't start for weight loss, although she's lost weight, and my crook bad is glad for it. But 30 years of chronic pain meds have resulted in development of autoimmune liver and kidney issues.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, carnivore can be good for all those things. If you've got permanent damage, nothing is going to reverse permanent damage. But I watched a video recently where they talked about kidney disease, and some people that had stage 3, stage 4 kidney disease actually improved their kidney function. They didn't cure it, but they may have backed off to like a stage 1 or stage 2 kidney. And if you have fatty liver, I know Dr. Berry talks about it all the time. Carnivore will definitely help reverse fatty liver disease.
Mm-hmm.
Called non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome, I believe, is the official name for it.
Yeah. And of course, people are often given the opposite in terms of diet for their, like, in other words, if they have kidney problems, kidney disease, they are told not to eat red meat. It's just, I don't know. And I've watched those videos, and a lot of people in comments will, and of course, granted, it's especially if it's in comments, you never know whether everybody's telling the truth or not. But there can't be that many different people lying. I mean, I guess it's
true,
possible, but there are just so many people though who comment, and it just seems to be very genuine that they went from stage 3 to stage 1. It's just like with the diabetes.
Right.
The diabetes video that Carrie of Homestead How talks about, where under that diabetes video, there are just hundreds and thousands of comments. Dr. Berry, you saved my life. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I have type 1 and I don't have to use much insulin. I've reduced my insulin by 90%, that kind of thing.
Yeah. If you ever want to see a lot of testimonials, go to some of Dr. Berry's videos and just read the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll have hundreds, thousands of comments of people saying how that they've improved their lives and improved their health.
Mm-hmm.
We got a question here from Sandra. What do you guys think of the current trend of doctors in the U.S. dumping Medicare patients, including Dr. Q's? I haven't.
Oh, Dr. Sivas, so he no longer sees Medicare patients. Is that, I guess that's what she's saying, and that Dr. Sivas is one of the ones in the he's one of the low carb doctors. I imagine, look, Medicare, this is the problem though. They don't reimburse the doctors much at all. I mean, doctors really don't want to take Medicare, and it's sad, but the government doesn't reimburse them. I mean, it's like the doctors are expected to do it for virtually free. So if you take Medicare, I mean, I understand from a financial perspective, you have lights to keep on, and you have bills to pay, and you have staff to pay. And here's the problem I have, and I know that I'm the odd man out, and I have had a doctor that he was not my primary care doctor. I've had a doctor in the past who was a butt to me. So believe me, I'm not sitting here saying that doctors are all nice and whatever.
Yeah.
But I also, doctors, like Dr. Berry says, they're dudes and chicks. They have student loans. Most of them do, because unless they went through the military or something, and if their parents didn't pay for it, so they've got student loans. They have practice payments. They have a house payment. They have car payments. They work ungodly hours. there's tons more paperwork and government regulations they have to follow. I
Mhm.
mean, the list goes on, and it's not a profession of where you get to interact with people more. And there's actually a movement for doctors to move into private medicine
Yeah,
where people have them like on a retainer, kind of like a lawyer or something, and then you
yeah.
just call them and pay as you need them, and you just pay them directly, and there's no insurance company and stuff.
Is that what Dr. Berry does? Because I know he
I
doesn't.
don't. Well, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I
Because
have
I know
no
he's
idea.
still practicing, but I don't think he belongs to like a healthcare group.
No, I don't think he's a private physician. But now,
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is like in terms of it's like a concierge kind of a deal where they don't accept health insurance or anything like that. They just this it's just this movement of doctors to do
yeah.
that where they're not a part of that whole system. I mean, obviously you still have to be licensed and all that stuff, but they just don't deal with submitting insurance claims and all that. It's just there's a rate that you pay for their services, and you just and so my whole spiel about that is that I feel bad really for Medicare patients, but the government is doing a lousy job. I mean, some of
Yeah.
the money that they're directing towards some things really should be spent toward elder care, in my opinion. And they're not paying these doctors anything, and they can't afford the cost. It costs them money to see Medicare patients. That's just my
Yeah.
thought. And I know that's probably unpopular, but I
That's
feel
probably a big reason for it.
I feel terrible for the doctors. I really do, because they're the evil bad guys. They're stuck in a system that gives them these ridiculous regulations and things that they have to tell their patients. It's sad. Um,
Yep.
I'm glad that I'm not a doctor.
Penelope says her mother improved her kidney issues with eating more meat and eggs, no sugar.
Yep.
Yep. That's we hear those same testimonials over and over again. It's great. What kind of fast are you doing first, and then which way of eating will you do after your fast? Lion, BB&E, or clean carnivore? Well, the kind of fast that I'm doing is a water only fast. Well, it's water only, and then I'll have some herbal tea, black tea, anything, and you can even include coffee in that if you want, as long as there's no sugar, no carbs, and no fat, because those three macronutrients, not fat so much, but carbs and protein will, if your body is in ketosis or you're in autophagy and you've achieved autophagy internally in your body and you digest some protein, it will end your autophagy like that. It'll shut off almost immediately. So that's the key. Now, if you're just fasting for weight loss, there's been people that have done bone broth fasts and other kinds of fasts like that, and they can still lose weight, but they won't ever achieve that autophagy phase because you have to do it just nothing coming in, because even bone broth contains some protein, so that will keep you from achieving autophagy, but you'll still burn fat and use up your fat for energy. So, but I plan to do that water only fast, what they call a water only fast. And then afterwards, I think Carnivore Kip on his channel, he's doing a 90-day BB&E challenge. So I may join in on him with that and just do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. It's pretty much what I eat already anyway. So it's not going to be much of a stretch for me. So I think I'll probably do the BBB&E. And that's really a good way for anybody to start doing carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, love to read the testimonials. Yeah,
I do
so much
too.
good stuff in there. We're on Medicare, and the last doctor bill for a checkup was $298. Medicare paid 98 or 89. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. We're all here to help as part of the part of the carnivore community and share and bounce ideas off of each other. So yeah. So I guess lastly, I just wanted to hit on the challenge and the starting something new for the new year. If you're considering starting carnivore, I would highly recommend it. And I guess I'll give like my top 3 tips for starting keto or carnivore. And my number 1 tip for it would be, I guess it depends on where you're coming from. So let's say, for instance, you're coming from the typical American diet and you just had McDonald's for lunch today, and you had a 10-piece nugget and large fry and a Coke, and you wanna start something new. Well, if you go immediately into BBB&E and you completely cut carbs and sugar out cold turkey, it might work for you, but it probably won't. You're going to suffer some digestive and bathroom issues for a while. So I always tell people, just ease into it. So if you look back on your last week of eating and you think about the things that you've eaten and the amount of, try to figure out the carbs, day 1, try to cut that in half, and then go for a few days and then cut that number in half, and then go for a few more days and then cut that number in half until you get down to about 20 carbs, which technically at 20 carbs, you're about keto. And tip number 2, have half your plate of good fatty meats and eggs. And if you're doing keto, have the other half in non-starchy vegetables. If you're doing ketovore, more meat, little bit of veg. If you're doing carnivore, once you make your transition, it'll be all meat. And then the number 3 tip would be to clean out your pantry. Get all your vegetable oils out, because eating this way, whether it's keto or carnivore or ketovore, is eating clean. And we don't want to be eating vegetable oils, processed foods, any of that junk, anything that's made from a powder. Get rid of all that stuff, clean out all the snacks, all the vegetable oils, corn oil, safflower oil, peanut oil, all that stuff. Clean that stuff out of your home and get it out so you can, restock your pantry with all the things that you're going to, in your refrigerator too, and watch all those sauces, all the ketchup. Ketchup's got an alarming amount of sugar in it. All the, salad dressings and all those things. And kind of 3A, become an expert on reading labels and knowing what you're eating, and try to stick as close as you can to 1 ingredient foods. Carrie, do you have tips for getting started on this way? Then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah. My tip is, as you said, of course, it goes differently depending on where you're starting from. But if you're starting from, like you were saying, going through the drive-through at McDonald's for lunch today, and you decide, okay, I'm going to start carnivore. One, starts way slower, and instead start with one thing, like, okay, I'm going to eliminate bread today.
Yeah.
Or you might even start with, and this is just experience with friends and stuff, like you would say maybe, okay, I'm going to just eliminate sodas. I'm not going to drink sodas. And even if you have to start weaning off the sodas. So the important thing is to do something really small and just build up, because if you were to, some people can jump in with both feet, but they're going to be in a world of hurt. they just going to be in a world of hurt. It's like drug withdrawal. So start very slowly. I would say, just based on friends that, people that I know who have gone keto and stuff and had to dial it back, start with the no sugars, like the sodas for starters, and then like no donuts and things like obvious junk food. Make sure you get rid of all that. Then you might move into the no bread. Then you might move into the okay, no seed oils. And Dr. Berry has a wonderful video about how to start low carb, and
Yep.
it just works you through incrementally getting rid of those things. And honestly, if most people got rid of the sodas, the added sugar in sodas, the bread, the seed oils, let's see, what is it? Added sugar, bread, seed oil. I don't remember. There's a couple of things, but anyway, if people would just do that, they would be in so much better shape. Like they wouldn't even.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so they, even if they were just eating vegetables and some, other things, it would be, even if they ate vegetables and beans and stuff like that, they would still be in so much better condition. And I think then if they were to start actually doing carnivore, they could then get rid of the other things.
Yeah.
I never really had transition problems. I think I might have felt a little bad but honestly, I don't think I did, because I went from eating sad, and I didn't really eat like a lot of junk food and stuff. This was back in 2015. I really wasn't into junk food and stuff. Not saying I never ate a candy bar or something, because I sure did. But then it was like I went low carb, just being very conscientious, and stopped drinking sodas and stuff. I stopped drinking sodas early in my journey, and sort of unintentional. Well, I shouldn't say unintentionally, because I did read a lot of blogs. I didn't see the stuff on YouTube though much, because I wasn't on YouTube at that point. But the whole thing is just moving down slowly. I think would be better, especially for somebody jumping from SAD directly into carnivore.
Right. Well, and springboarding off of that into what Bullet Sponge just said, what foods can you eat on carnivore? Well, the number one carnivore foods are ruminant animals. So beef, lamb, buffalo, deer, and elk. Those are the main ones. Some people eat goat too. I never had goat. It might be like lamb. I imagine it would be similar, because they're very close. And then eggs. The better quality eggs you can get, the better. But if you can only afford to buy the eggs at Walmart, get that.
Yep.
The odds are what you're eating now, eating those is a heck of a lot better.
If all you can afford is hot dogs,
if all you can afford is hot dogs and bologna and Spam,
yep,
it's going to be a big improvement over eating Doritos and French fries and Cheetos and Pepsi and all those things out there. So, yep. So, yeah, and the main tenets of carnivore: beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Any kind of seafood, really, as long as I prefer to eat wild caught sardines, wild caught salmon. I try not to eat the farm raised stuff, but if that's all you can afford, eat the farm raised catfish and salmon. If that's all you can do. You may be able to do some dairy. And I would say, if you're starting off and you're just getting into it, go ahead and have some cheese. Don't make cheese like a whole meal, but if you want cheese on your burger patty, go ahead. It's not gonna slow you down. Just watch those ingredients and make sure that it's actual real cheese.
Yeah, I was gonna say not cheese
oil
product.
and water emulsion cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to kind of wrap things up. I just wanted to go through here and put any last remarks. We've got Arlene. I'm 66, started 4 months ago. My husband started 2.5 months ago. He's lost 28. You only lost 8. That's normal. And then you stalled. We lost 70 pounds each on low carb 4 years ago and off of diabetic meds. Hey,
Huzzah.
Huzzah. That's fantastic. I've been off all my diabetic meds now for a long time too. Um, and all I can say, you lost 8 pounds. Congratulations. That's good. Um, I don't know if that's all the weight that you had to lose because I don't know where you're starting out from. But, you know, tomorrow's the start of a new year. Uh, try doing a clean carnivore diet. If you're already doing low carb, try to maybe clean it up a little bit. Um, Sometimes, like for me, if I eat the same things all the time and on the same schedule all the time, I'll stall out. So I find that if I change the times that I eat or how often or what I'm eating, a lot of times it can kick things back into gear and
I
change
have
things up.
also heard Dr. Berry talk about that if you don't eat enough calories, or I shouldn't use that term, but I mean enough food,
Yeah,
basically, that your body thinks that you are in a stress situation
yeah,
and you will not lose weight. So that's another thing to think about. And I have a feeling that I might have unintentionally been doing that to myself. Um,
yeah.
so I think that's what I am going to do for the challenge, Brett, is I'm going to add breakfast,
There you go.
something for breakfast.
Well, and I wanted to say too, there's a big difference between not getting enough calories or
Yes.
starving and fasting. Your
Oh, for
body,
sure. For sure. Yeah.
there's a big difference between the two.
Yep.
And I don't really have the time to go through and explain it all um, because the human body is meant to fast. We're built for it. It's a free thing that comes pre-installed in your
Mhm.
DNA when you're born. And Dr. Jason Fung has some great videos about the differences between fasting and starving. Or
Yes.
yeah,
We've
and a
been
lot of it
reading
has
his
to do
book.
with hormones. Because and
Mhm.
going back to what you were saying about why we don't talk about calories, because the human body is not a calorimeter.
Right.
The human body doesn't has no idea what a calorie is. We have hormones that react to what we eat. So,
Mhm.
1,000 calories of Hershey bars and 1,000 calories of ribeye hit us completely different.
Oh,
So
yeah.
your body reacts completely different ways between those two things. I know those two things are kind of extreme, but it makes the point as
Mhm.
to how your body reacts to getting Hershey bars or ribeye or a French
Mhm.
fry, 1,000 calories of McDonald's French fries versus a ribeye. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, totally different, process and
Hormones.
digestion, all of that.
Yep. And what it does to your insulin.
Mhm.
Insulin has a ton to do with it. Yep, Arlene, it
Yep.
started with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. A lot of people start with that. Just wanted to go through here. Eating more seafood. More seafood's good. And if you're maybe not getting enough iodine, eating wild caught shrimp is a great way to supplement iodine if you don't want to take an iodine supplement. Shrimp is loaded with it.
I'm not sure what is mortadella. Maybe I'm just dense, but
It
I'm
has
not sure what that
mortadella.
is to help her eat a big lump of butter.
Is mortadella like a brand of butter? I don't know. What
Something to add. I'm not sure.
maybe it's
Standard,
something in
or it could
Australia.
be, well, she's in Australia, I think. So,
But butter is one of those things that you can definitely have on carnivore. Just good one ingredient, cream and salt butter. Well, I guess it's two ingredients.
it's an Italian bologna, she says. Okay, well,
Oh,
bologna,
okay,
man.
okay.
Here's my tip to get your liver like in. I happen to like liverwurst. I tried it for the first time very recently. Well, about 5 months ago, I tried it, and so I incorporated it into my diet. And I will get 2 pieces of bologna and put some liverwurst in between it and eat it like a sandwich. Only the
That's
bologna
great.
is the bread, and it's delicious. And of course, I've been scolded for eating bologna, and I'm just like, I've had people say, look, bologna's not keto and whatever. And I'm like, well, it depends on the ingredients and what bologna you get. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
keto. And even if you eat the doo-doo bologna, it's still better than, if that's all you can eat, that's all you can eat.
Yep.
And it's just, I had somebody criticize the brand of hot sauce because I found a brand of hot sauce at the Dollar General Market that was cheaper than Frank's Red Hot, and I
Mm.
tested it to see, and it tasted really good. And then the brand of sardines that I get is like Beach Cliff, which is like a cheap brand, and so I was, FYI, kind of thing, and it's cheap. You can eat. So, this is a good, healthy carnivore snack for cheap. And I had somebody criticize the hot sauce. And I'm like, well, I normally eat Frank's, but I found this. And for people on a budget, there's better brands of sardines you can eat, and there's better brands of hot sauce you can get. But if you can get the same thing for half the price,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
get the benefit from it, it's much better that they do that. That's just,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's my opinion.
Renee says stalls are either your body doing more healing or you hit a set point where you were at for a while before. That's been my
Mm,
experience. Longest stall was a weight I was at for several years. Well, that's why I haven't really minded being at my current stalled weight because I feel like I'm kind of resetting that set point. Um, and maybe that's just what my body needed to do. And I'm in no hurry. It's not a race. All right. Bullet Sponge wants South Pacific cod. Yes, cod is good. Just make sure the only problem with eating fish is that it's super lean. It doesn't really have any fat in it unless you're eating like salmon with the skin on it. That'll have a good fat in there. But if you're going to eat a white fish like cod, make sure you're having lots of butter with it, or you're having something else with it that has a high fat ratio. So you're getting a good balance of protein and fat. Arlene says she needs to lose 50 more. I'm right there with you, Arlene. I need to lose about 50 to 60 more to achieve kind of my target weight that I want to end up at, or at least what I'm calling my reevaluate weight. Yep, wild caught. I got a really great piece of wild caught salmon at Costco. You go down there to the end where they have that case if you have a Costco near you, and it's very, very orange. I mean, it's orange almost like the paint on your walls back there, orange. Uh,
wow.
and I mean, it's really, really dark. But I was looking through the case and I saw this one piece that was like an entire shade of orange darker than all the rest of them. And I bought it and brought it home, and it was fantastic. It was really good,
Oh, wow.
especially when you compare it to the farm raised stuff that has had color added to the feed. Um,
Hmm.
some of you didn't know about farm raised salmon. If they didn't add color to the feed, when they harvested that salmon, the meat would be gray.
Mm.
So they added that food coloring, and it'll say on the label, it'll say food color added to feed. So if they didn't do that to make the meat come out orange, nobody would buy it because who wants to buy gray salmon?
Mm.
It's a marketing thing to try to get you to buy it. So just know what you're buying, know
Yeah.
what you're eating. Now, if it's harmful or not, I don't know, but wild caught just seems like a better choice to me. A couple bucks more a pound, and you get something that's real.
Yeah.
I'd rather have something that's real. Okay. Black cod is the greatest of all time, also called sable fish. Good fat content in black cod. I'll have to write that down. I've never heard of black cod. Have you heard of black cod?
I have not.
Black cod. sable fish. I will look into that and see if I can find a place here in Indiana that has it. Similar to salami.
Yeah, similar
Okay.
to salami. Yeah.
Okay. All right, there you go. Stress can have a big effect on your weight
Mm-hmm.
loss. Yeah, doing little exercises, change up eating habits. A lot of people end up just naturally going to a 16-8 fast and not even really realizing it. I do more of an 18-6 or a 24, but 16-8 is a great place to be. 23-hour fast is basically one meal a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got to watch those labels, become a professional label reader. If you don't know what dextrose is, it's basically another name for sugar.
Sugar.
Maltodextrin, dextrose. It's just like a factory sugar. So if you have to use mustard or hot sauce to help you, then do it until you're stronger or do your best. Yeah. And mustard doesn't contain any fat or any calories, I don't think. If you get a good mustard like French's, I think it's just mustard seed, vinegar, and salt and water, maybe.
Yeah, and the hot sauce that I use is Frank's Red Hot Original, which is perfectly clean. It is carnivore friendly. It's
Yeah.
only okay. I guess depending on how you look at it, but I think it's only got like it's got vinegar, cayenne, and like it's salt and something else. It's only got like 4 ingredients, and so the brand that I
Yeah.
use is Frank's Red Hot, and then this other brand has the same exact ingredients in it too. So there's
Yep.
no added preservatives or
Right.
whatever. There's nothing else in it.
And if you like Tabasco, I think the original Tabasco brand, I think it's just vinegar and chili, and it's real super clean too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Renee, she uses mustard sometimes and not ashamed of it. Yeah.
I haven't tried mustard with like sardines or liver or anything like that.
I can see doing mustard with sardines and hot dogs and bologna and stuff. I don't
I
think I
use
put mustard on.
Yeah, I'll put mustard once in a while on a hot dog or on bologna. I actually prefer mustard to mayonnaise. I know a lot of people love mayonnaise and make the like carnivore version or whatever, but I just don't. I'm not a big mayo eater.
No. Sea to table is a great source for wild fish. Not cheap, but very good quality. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was just going to try to look up bondeji. I don't know what bondeji is.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know what Bon Jovi is, but not bondeji. I'm just going to Google it here real quick.
Don't know.
This is my buddy. It's literally pupas. It's a Korean insect-based street food made with silkworm pupae. It's boiled, a steamed snack food, and served in paper cups with toothpick skewers.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and eat the pupa. I mean, I guess it's technically great with carnivores.
That is carnivore. So, and I would also say that it is ancestrally appropriate because over the hundreds of thousands, millions of years that Homo sapiens have been on the planet, a vast majority of that time, humans ate bugs.
I'd probably try it. Like since it's cooked and stuff, now I wouldn't eat raw grubs or anything, but since it's cooked, I would probably, if I was there, I would try some.
If millions of Koreans eat it, I'd say it's worth a try.
Yeah.
And don't go mailing
I was always squeamish. I never tried anything like liver. I mean, just nothing. Cod livers. We didn't eat liver when I was growing up. I mean, our food was very what you'd call basic. I mean, it was like meatloaf, some macaroni and cheese, and some green beans. Just stuff like that. There was not. We didn't do like organs or just anything that was considered like a, I don't know, oddity or something. It was just very straightforward Midwestern food. That's what we had.
So the people in the chat here are talking about stress and ways to cope with the stress, and that could be a new thing for New Year's as well. If you've already pretty much dialed in the carnivore diet and you want to work on your stress level, check that out. That's a great challenge. Great thing to do. Meditation.
Yes, there's his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and there are a lot of videos of his meditations on YouTube. So especially if you have the YouTube where you don't have commercials, you can just listen to the meditation, and of course you can purchase them, and then he's got books, and I highly recommend. It's just, if I don't meditate, and I think I've only missed seriously like 2 days in the last year of not meditating. That's how important it is to me to do. I've missed more walking days than I have meditation days, and I rarely miss a walking day.
Bullet Sponge says he's been doing one meal a day for the past 11 years. Yeah. Yep, he sure has. And it's done a lot for his health. He's gotten over, diabetes. He beat prostate cancer. He's done a lot. I'm real proud of him. Fred said he used to love mayo, but he uses organic avocado mayo on steaks sometimes. Yeah. And avocado oil is another one of those oils that you can use instead of vegetable oil, because technically it's a fruit oil. Mm-hmm. So, those are approved. Olive oil, as long as you don't have any kind of negative reaction to them. Arlene's been eating hot dogs and sausage and mustard on her hamburgers. That's great. Larry was talking in the chat, in the live we were in before, where he did a video on eating carnivore on $40 a week. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that would involve a lot of hot dogs and sausage and hamburger and eggs. We bought eggs the other day. I think it was $10.99 or $9.99 for 60 eggs at Walmart. So anybody says you can't afford it, then you're shopping in the wrong places.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. I've been wanting to make my own bacon grease mayo, but haven't yet. Dr. Barry's got him and Nisha did a great video on making their own bacon grease mayo. I've made it and I followed their recipe and I liked it okay, but they put vinegar in theirs and I hate vinegar in anything.
It's funny.
So next time I make it, I'm going to make it without the vinegar. But
see, I love vinegar. I love it. And I had gotten some barbecue that had vinegar. It was just vinegar. And I went to give some to my son, and he said, "What did they do to this barbecue?" And I said, "It's vinegar." He said, "This is nasty." I was like, "No, it's not. It's awesome." I mean, I loved it. And that last name is, hold on, let me write it out, and then I can tell you. I know how to write it. Okay, it's Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza is his name. And there are videos of his lectures and meditations on YouTube. And then he also has books. And I've read all of them. My favorites are You Are the Placebo and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Oh,
Those are my two favorite books, and they are just by him, and they are just you just learn so much. And see, here's the thing: he's educated in neurology, and so and he's very heavily into the science of things
yeah,
too. So, like, a lot of people think meditation sounds woo woo, but there's a lot of science. Like, they can do brain imaging and stuff while you're doing the meditations. Like, they'll put like wires on your head. Like, I don't know the difference between the different ones, like EEG versus a whatever, but they put the wires on your head and measure the electrical
yeah.
currents and stuff. And they do also have done MRI imaging and stuff, like while somebody meditates. And it's just fascinating how it gets into the science of the brain too.
Wanted to tell Renee what happened to my background. Well, not long into the chat, I had a blue screen of death on my computer, and when I got everything back up and running, StreamYard wouldn't let me put my background back up for whatever reason. I think it's because Carrie was still on, or I don't know what happened, but that's what happened. So this is what's behind the curtain of meat that most of the time you can't see.
The real story.
The real story. So hubby bought her a infrared blanket, but it's relaxing for her. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Okay, so this might be a good one to kind of to sum things up. Maybe you covered it already, but why is your New Year fast duration 9 days? You fasted 4.5. That's good. The reason I chose 9 is because my previous longest fast was 8, and I meant to do 9, and that was back in August, and I was getting ready to take a trip somewhere, and I didn't want to be fasting while I was away from home, just in case. So I cut it short at 8 days. So this time I want to do 9. And fasting is like a muscle. You need to exercise it. So that's why I chose 9 days. And actually, I'm going to evaluate at 9 days. And if I still feel good, maybe I'll go past 9 days. I don't know.
Oh, wow. That'll be interesting.
We'll see. I know. Do you know what the longest fast ever done was?
It was like 300 and something days. It was some guy in the UK.
384 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 400 and some pounds, and he walked out of there at his ideal body weight at like 165 pounds or something. But it's online. You can look it up.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Dr. Fung on his channel, he talks about people doing 2-week fasts all the time, or even 1 month fasts. I'm like, whew, that's a long time. So,
I can tell you though, if you're not in the habit of eating, like I have never even considered going 9 days or whatever, but I've gone like a couple of days without eating before, and it's just like no big deal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's not that I've done it intentionally. It's just happened.
Yeah.
Before. Now, that has not been real recently, but it has happened. And once you are accustomed, like once you're not hungry anymore, then it's just easy to not eat.
Yeah. And, anyone who's thinking that fasting is you're just going to be this ravenously hungry person for 9 days straight.
Yeah.
That's not what it's like at all. Will I be hungry my first day? Yeah. Because, you have kind of this Pavlovian response when it's time to eat every day. Your body is trained to say, hey, it's time to eat. But once you kind of get past that and you go to bed that first night without having eaten and then get up the next day, it becomes less and less. And usually past the 3rd day, I don't feel hungry at all. Or if I do, it'll be a very fleeting thing because I'll see something or think of
Hmm.
something or I'll smell something and it'll make me hungry just for a brief time. Um, but that's how it goes. And then when I refeed, I'll have some bone broth to break my fast, and I'll go over all this in little future videos, and then just gradually work back into my normal routine.
Yeah, it's really now like there again, I've never even considered attempting. I don't ever like not eat on purpose, but like if you once you go for a while without eating, you just like you don't even feel it. Like you don't even think about it. It's not like you're just like you
Yeah,
said, just miserable with these hunger cramps, and you're just like
right.
it's.
It's not like that at all.
Mm-mm. Matter of fact, for me, there's almost more energy and almost like a high to it. Like once
Well,
you've
and
gone
one
for
of
a
my
while without eating.
one of my tips on here that I kind of skipped over was to make sure you get good sleep if you can. I know I usually sleep pretty good the first couple days, and then after that, I have trouble sleeping just because my energy level goes up.
Hmm.
And there's an ancestral reason for that because, fasting, all your hormones are coming up. Your cortisol is coming up. Your noradrenaline is coming up. And basically, it gives us the energy and the gumption to go out there and find something else to kill and drag home and eat. And that's why the human race has survived for so long, because they'll eat and then they may not kill and drag anything home again for 4 or 5 days. They're not just
Hmm.
laying there in their cave going, "Oh my God, I'm about to die of hunger." You
I need
know,
my snack.
yeah, where's my honey bun? Yeah. So, yeah. So, and that's what you're feeling. Um,
Yeah.
you're feeling that urge to go out and kill something else and drag it home. So, and I'll talk about that if I feel those things. I'll try to remember when that kind of kicks in.
Yeah, that'd be a good lesson. I've in our book club, we've been reading Dr. Fung's obesity code. And of course, I've
Mhm.
also, back before I even discovered really much on YouTube, I used to watch his or read his blog.
Yeah,
Ah, you
this
reading
is a
it
good one
too?
too. If you got
Yes.
type 2 diabetes, go out and buy this book. Uh, well, go out and buy it on Tuesday when the stores reopen.
Yeah. But yeah. I
That's a
love
good
his
one.
work. And I was reading his blog, Dr. Michael Eads's blog. There were a few of them out there that were like low carb keto people back like in about 2015, right around 2015 and 16 time frame. And that was before, like I said, before I really watched much of YouTube.
Arlene says she's having a bunch of crunchy hamburger and later bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
So I would assume crunchy hamburger is you make like hamburger bits, or you just you like smash burger your hamburgers to make them crispy on the edges. Renee wants to know what's crunchy hamburger.
It's how they're cooked. If I cook them, if I'm not careful.
All right, so we've gone over an hour, almost to an hour and a half, and I only wanted this to be like a 20-minute thing. So hey, it's fine. I love it. I love talking to you, Carrie, and having people in the chat and answering questions. This is
This is
awesome.
my favorite format.
This is
I love
fun.
doing
Yeah, I like
these.
doing this too. So just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. And, if you're thinking about trying something new, get out there and give it a try. I've got links in the description of this video to all the YouTube channels I love, including Carrie's, and videos to go check out fasting and how to get started on carnivore and all those great things. So, any parting words?
Happy New Year, everybody. And of course, you'll be seeing me around.
Yeah. Yeah, and I gotta show off your T-shirt one more time. I'm gonna order
Oh,
one of your
okay, y'all.
T-shirts.
you know how I am about my concert shirts and such, but you know the saying, Pink Floyd, you can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. Well, forget the pudding, eat your meat.
Yes, yes.
A few people got those as Christmas presents.
Yeah, and the people can buy those in your. There's a link to that in your channel.
I do.
To buy those.
I try to remember to put it in my videos, but I know for sure that it is in my community tab. In my community, tab. What that
Hey,
thing is
Robin,
called.
we're getting ready to wrap things up. Otherwise, I send you the link and have you jump in real quick. But we're getting ready to wrap things up. We've been going an hour and a half officially right now.
Time flies when you're having fun and technical difficulties.
And my phone's going off. I got people upstairs who want to eat. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna cut it short here and or cut it off, and I'll be reaching out to Robin. And Robin, I gave you a shout out earlier when this video got started as part of the people that are also fasting for the new year. So, want to say bye to everybody. Have a safe and happy new year, and we'll see you in 2024.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Bye now.
Bye, Brett. I'll let you go.
Okay.